Daniel 8, the ram, the goat, and the little horn. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tanakh Bible channel. Now let's get right into it. Let's begin with the scripture. Daniel chapter 8, verse 1 through 4. In the vision, I saw myself in the citadel of Susa. And behold, I was standing beside the canal of Ahava. Then I lifted my eyes and saw two great horns. Behold, they were growing out of one and out of the other horn. And out of these two horns, another little horn grew. Its one direction was toward the rising sun, and the other toward the moon. Thus it grew exceedingly great toward the south, and toward the rich territory of the kings of the south. And it reached as far as the power of the north. But at its full growth, the ram that I had seen in the first part of my vision, which had two horns, came again, charging with his he-goat. He came toward the little horn, but it fell down under his power. Now that we've read the scripture, let me explain what we just read. Because there are some very important details in this passage that can help us understand what's going on. And for that, let's look at verses 20 through 22. And the ram that you saw is the kings of the east, and the he-goat is the king of the south. And the ascent of the little horn is the coming of the king of the north. So if you see the he-goat, that's going to be the king of the south. If you see the ram, that's going to be the king of the east. And if you see this little horn, this is the king of the north. So let's look at the geopolitical map to understand where these locations are. Okay, so over here we have Elam, or the kingdom of the east. Here we have the kingdom of the south, and here we have the kingdom of the north. So let's look at our verse again. Let's look at verses 1 through 4. It says that he saw himself in the citadel of Susa. Now Susa is ancient Shushan in the book of Esther, where the book of Daniel was written, and it's over here. So imagine Daniel having a dream and seeing this in the citadel of Shushan. Now watch what happens in the dream. It says that he saw a ram that had two horns growing out of one, and then out of that horn another small horn grows, which represents the king of the north. Now that little horn begins to grow great, and it goes as far as the rising sun, which is over here, and as far as the moon, which is over here. So that means that it spread from the east to the west and north to south. This little horn began to devour everything in his path. Then the ram that he saw earlier, comes back with a he-goat, which is the king of the south, and attacks the little horn, the king of the north, and then the king of the north falls. Now, do you remember what we said? We said that the king of the north is over here. So if the king of the north falls, which direction would he fall? He would fall right there towards the south. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pick up the timeline. Verse 5 through 7. Then I came near to that horn that was growing up, and to the ram that was coming against it. I came near in his anger to hear the truth, and I heard this. The ram said, He shall be smitten, and none shall help him. He shall be smitten, and shall not pass on. And when I looked up, I heard another horn, which was not exalted with the first horn, saying, I will divide my power with you. And after this manner. Okay, now, if you notice, when the ram is fighting the little horn, the horn that was not exalted with the first horn, meaning the second horn, tells the first horn, hey, you know what? After you smash him, I'm going to come in and take advantage of the situation. So this horn that wasn't exalted with the first horn is a third horn. Now let's look at the number 3. Let's look at verse 9. For the vision of the evening and morning, which was told me, I inquired about, and behold, 4 horns. And out of the midst of them 4 others appeared toward the south. East and west did not stand, but 2 were standing, and the mighty horn was standing with them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it says 4 more appear. And then it says that 2 stood, and the mighty horn stood with them. Now, we talked about how the ram is the king of the east and the he-goat is the king of the south. So that means that the 2 horns that are standing are the rams, which are the kings of the east, and the 1 horn that is mighty is the horn of the south. So basically, we have 3 powerful horns. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because the number 3 has been repeated over and over again in Scripture. And the reason I point this out is because we are living in the time of the Messiah's first coming, and we are waiting for the Messiah's second coming. So whenever the Messiah's name was prophesied, it was prophesied 7 times. When John the Baptist came, it was a fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy. And the word John means God is gracious. And you can split the word John into 2 parts. You have Yeho and Han, and Yeho means God, and Han means one, making Yehovah Han, which means God alone is sufficient. And so John the Baptist was a testimony to Yeshua, which means salvation, and salvation is only found in Yeshua, which means salvation. John the Baptist was a testimony of Yeshua, and we are living in the time of Messiah's first coming, and so we are looking for the Messiah's second coming. So the number 3 is very important. And we see the number 3 right here in Daniel 8. We see the ram, which is the king of the east. We see the he-goat, which is the king of the south. And then we see the little horn, which is the king of the north. So that makes 3. And then we also see a 4th. Now who is the 4th? Who is the 4th one? Well, let's find out. Verse 11. Through his cunning he shall cause deceit to prosper, and he shall exalt himself in place. My Lord shall come with 10,000 saints. Judgment is set, and the daily burnt offering and the continual grain offering for transgressions, and it shall be thrown among the nations of the earth. So let's look at this part right here. And he shall exalt himself in place. My Lord shall come with 10,000 saints. Now who is this 4th one? Well, let's go back to our map here. Remember how we said that when the little horn is destroyed, it's going to fall to the south. Where would another horn grow from? It would grow from here, right? So this is the 4th horn. And so who does it represent? Well, let's keep reading. Verse 12. Behold, another horn, a little one, came up behind him, and before whom he was not at all like the first, which horns grew up to the north side and westward, even northward. It waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And behold, this horn had 2 horns like a wild ox. And he lifted up his 2 horns high, and one horn lifted up higher than the other, and he cast down the horn that was exalted with it toward the ground, and the horn that lifted itself up higher, I saw it driven toward the south and toward the east. All right, so now let's go to our map, and we're going to look at what's happening with this horn. So remember, this horn was in the north, and so this is the little horn. And then we said that the 4th horn would be right here, and so this is the 4th horn. What happened to this horn? It cast down the horn that was exalted with it toward the ground, and the horn that lifted itself up higher, I saw it driven toward the south and toward the east. So the little horn is fighting the horn of the north, and he knocks down the horn of the north, and then the horn of the north is driven to the south and to the east, okay? And that leaves this horn empty, okay? And then the next thing we see in the vision is the Messiah coming. So something interesting that I noticed is that the horn of the north is being pushed down to the south and the east, and the Messiah is coming from the east. Now, is it possible that the Messiah could be coming because of the horn of the north being pushed down to the south and the east? I think so. Let's keep reading. Verse 14. And by war, through deceit, none shall stand before him. His forces shall be dreadful, and he shall destroy many. Yet for 5 days, the anointed people, yes, the prince who is to come shall have no help. And at evening time, there shall be a great multitude against him. Then the vision of the evening and morning, which was told me, I inquired about, and I heard. Behold, he was telling me, seal up the vision, for it is for many days from here. I heard, but I did not understand. Therefore I passed by without it. Okay, so this passage is talking about a war that's going to happen where there will be a defeated horn of the north. And then it says that there will be a prince that will come, okay? And that prince is Yeshua. And it says that that prince will be opposed by a great multitude. So there will be a great battle at the time of the Messiah's first coming. And so the question is this talking about Armageddon? Is this talking about the war of Gog and Magog? Look at the timing here. 5 days, an evening and a morning. Evening is 6 hours, and morning is 6 hours. So that's 12 hours. So you have 5 days plus 12 hours. That's a total of 6 days, 12 hours. That's very specific, 6.5 days. And the Messiah came for 6.5 days. Friday, which was his crucifixion, Saturday, which was his death and burial, and Sunday, which was his resurrection. So is this talking about the time of the Messiah's first coming? I think so. Okay, so what should we learn from this prophecy? Well, what we need to learn is that we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and we need to pray for the people of Israel. Also, we need to pray for the gospel to be preached in all the world. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time on the Tanakh Bible channel. Shalom. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out this playlist right here, which contains many other wonderful videos. If you want to become part of the family here, please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, shalom.